posted by user J is calling. What might be the biggest positive impact the current situation has on humanity? Let's see the best answers on today's post. A common complaint before the virus was the world is just moving too quickly. Both parents working, so many extracurricular and sports that families never spent a lot of time together. Meals were quick and bought on the fly between appointments and activities. Now, a lot of families are spending more quality time together. They have time to make meals together. We are able to cherish all of those times when we were able to go out, and we are able to realize how short and precious life really is. We are finally able to see without simulation what would happen to our environment if we were to enact drastic environmental protections. Not only does this help discredit belief that climate change is unrelated to human activity, but scientists are studying the situation to see what is and isn't effective about our current situation. This also proves that the global community can band together in the face of imminent danger and could normalize more severe environmental protection if we see our collective effort works to stop coronavirus. A shift on who is actually essential to society. Lots of self-reflection from people who thought they were more needed and important than they actually are. The realization that lots of things we thought were obligatory burdens, morning traffic, long commutes in order to reach your workplace, crippled internet connections, are actually quite manageable without that much hassle. The question is, will we fight to keep these positive impacts? People realizing just how lonely they are in the inside without each other, and through this, somehow, we all end up treating each other with more appreciation. I miss my friends so much. We talk on Discord occasionally, but I just want to be in the same room as them, goof around and talk and drink coffee. They live so close, but that doesn't even matter now. Internet is a necessary utility, not a service. And also healthcare needs to be a socialized service. Looking at you, America. I think people will begin to understand that they don't need to spend an arm and a leg to go to college. If you remove the social component of college, a lot of times is location dependent. Education is pretty much the same everywhere. Only difference is that better schools get better professors. I am hoping we will all show a little more respect to the grocery store clerks and the burger flippers who we say don't deserve this wages. They are carrying society on their shoulders right now. I'm seeing a lot of people indulging in reading books, watching movies, introspecting life, meditating or learning to play an instrument, just learning a new skills or doing things that couldn't have been possible to fit in their usual busy schedule. Edit. Not the biggest positive to be honest, but still worth noting. Hopefully, corporate stuffiness will finally recognize that it is possible for a worker to perform adequately even if they are not in the office in person. That telecommuting is actually cheaper for the company than maintaining a physical office because you don't have to pay for electricity and Wi-Fi for a computer in your air-conditioned cubicle farm. You don't have the janitorial costs. I'm hopeful that this can be the point where all the 80-year-old CEOs and COOs realize that work from home doesn't kill productivity. Lazy workers will weed themselves out. Good workers will prove their worth. Both can be judged by what they get done. This may be the first time in history that can provide a tangible counter-argument to the old theory of, well, if we let them sit at home in their PJs all day, they'll just be twitting all day long on that site thing and playing the Pokemon Crush game. More YouTube content. I'm hoping that it will make the world leaders take a firm stance on poaching and the illegal wildlife trade. Up until now they've barely acknowledged it and have taken minimal action. But look what it got them. A pandemic that is going to crash all of our economies and probably send us into a depression. All for something that we knew was coming but no one wanted to address. Dogs are having the best time of their lives knowing their human is always there every day. We might actually start preparing for the future as a collective, or at least start taking diseases seriously, so that we prevent more deadly viruses like Ebola from spreading as much as COVID has. possibly a better understanding of depression amongst the general population. Lots of people are getting situational environmental depression symptoms because of the pandemic and lockdowns, and hopefully that'll generate some empathy for long-time sufferers of depression. I also hope anyone dealing with depression for the first time with all this finds the support they need and makes it through okay. Stay safe all. More time for making love and improving our minds. A minimum basic income will be necessary to keep people from starving. Corporations will have to finally pony up to make that happen. They can't just offshore this one, because all the shores are the issue. This is just a guess, but probably almost as many lives have been saved from automobile deaths as have died from coronavirus in the West. Reduction in travel, and a serious move to online working and schooling, and basic income. How clueless and useless many world leaders are. Do we need a single person as an executive? No more arguing about firearms. Everyone that hadn't had their rights taken away got one or more in the last 2 months. Isolation gave me some self-reflection and hopefully others too. More YouTube content. Now that businesses have been forced to solve the tricky problems of working from home, they will support it long term so they can save on their huge office space costs, especially true for multi-site businesses. Counterpoint. People might realize how incredibly lazy they are at home, and how deeply they need face-to-face interaction with co-workers to get anything done. Hopefully people will lose weight because they can't eat at restaurants. The experience of having to have welfare will make people more empathetic to those that need welfare. Usually people will appreciate their families more in order to boost the economy. Government should invest in research and building infrastructure projects in renewable energy, but it is not looking likely in Australia. I'm a better parent right now for sure. I've decided to not go back to my current job. When I see my children thriving from more time with me, it tells me everything I need to know. Well, it may not be the biggest improvement, but call center workers all seem far happier. They are patient, focused, and have a genuine helpful manner that I can only attribute to working from home. I'm really happy for them. In Claverton, United Kingdom. Coronavirus, no cars on the road, the silence is golden and sweet. A dog barks a mile away and you think I've not heard that before. Those chattering geese flying overhead clearly happy to be on their way I know not where. The businessman, on his lunch hour, playing with his gurgling children next door. Is he missing his weekly flight to New York and his daily drive to St. Albans or Glasgow to take those businessmen for lunch, or to slam his hand on the conference table? Maybe it can stay like this when it is over. We have the internet for all forms of communication. People still need to drive to manual jobs to produce food and medicine and new airplanes. Is the earth dying? I don't know, but many people stress about it and argue about it and make money from it, even fight about it. But, just maybe, no longer. This damned virus is a killer, but it will pass. But what then? Some will crave a return to normal, but some will hope for more than that. When the next pandemic comes with a more dangerous virus, higher mortality rate, the world will be much better prepared. I suddenly realized how important it was for everyone to have a schedule in their life, a routine. As an introvert with depression, not being able to go out is making my mental health worse, because I feel unproductive not doing anything. I don't have work to distract me. Seeing new faces outside whenever I go to work and getting fresh air when I commute in the morning helps my mental health a lot, and I only realized it now. I love and miss walking around the city to and from work. It affects everyone too, not just people with depression like me, but others who are so used to having a routine in their life. This means more time with family, yes, but too much of one thing can be bad, and too much time indoors is just as bad as too much time at work. Also introverted, yet I still love being around happy extroverted people. They help me get out of my shell for a bit and I can attempt to socialize to join in a conversation and maybe make them happy too. The randomness of the real world helps shake up my desire for everything to be under my control, helping me feel calm that there is so much going on it's okay to just go with the flow and be me in the moment. Trapped inside it feels like there is no escape from my world, so I repeat my same behaviors that are really not healthy for me. I have nobody willing to critique, so I don't change. Also, I feel trapped inside my head at times and being stuck with family. We all mostly have similar opinions and quite frankly this is extremely boring. I want people I don't know to challenge my ideas and ideals so I can expand my perspective on life instead of repeating the same mantras with the same people.